Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. The top 5 leagues has started, and we're here to predict the full top 5 leagues prediction. Let's get into it. So, jumping in, Serie A, the Italian league. Who is set to win the Serie A? Who will win Serie A? Napoli obviously won it last year. I'm glitching. It was Inter right before, the year before. And there are some teams, but I think it once again will be between Napoli and Inter this season. Napoli, obviously, last season were not part of European football. That's something that helped them to solely focus on the league, whilst this season they're part of the Champions League. Inter Milan, they haven't lost any of their players. They've actually strengthened the squad a bit. Inzaghi obviously going to Saudi Arabia, and now they have Pandev as the manager. So my opinion is that Inter potentially will be worse in the UCL. They've been very good in the UCL recently. They're higher up in the Champions League like points thing over the past 5 seasons than even Paris Saint-Germain. So I think Inter will focus less on the Champions League and win the Serie A, because it was a little bit of an embarrassment how many times Inzaghi failed to win the Serie A with Inter. And I believe Inter Milan will win the Serie A. When it comes to the top 5, here's my top 5 prediction. I have Inter Milan first, Napoli second, now Man City, Roma third, Juventus fourth, and AC Milan fifth. I think Juventus and AC Milan, they will stay in similar positions. They have been 4th, 5th. Atalanta, I don't think they will squeeze into the top 5 with losing Gasperini and Lookman probably joining Inter, strengthening their Scudetto win this season. You have, I don't know, maybe you have Bologna, you have Fiorentina. I don't see them making the top 5. And then Roma, I think Roma will push up, mostly because Gasperini just became their new manager. They've made some good signings so far this summer transfer window as well. So I think Roma will actually surprise a lot of people. And that's mostly because of how great of a coach Gasperini is. Moving into who will finish as top scorer, because I believe Inter Milan will win it. And I think Inter generally as a team will focus more on the league this season. Maybe Lautaro Martinez winning the top scorer. I don't think he's ever won the top scorer in Serie A. So this would be his first if he hasn't already won. And it would be his second. And who wins the Serie A Player of the Year? It will go to Lautaro Martinez once again. Moving on to Ligue. Who will win Ligue? Paris Saint-Germain. Straightforward. I think the gap potentially could be less with the signings that Marseille and Monaco have made. I mean, Marseille lost their first game of the season, so we'll see how it goes. But I think Paris Saint-Germain will win Ligue quite simply. And here are my top 5. One thing I want to change. I just thought of this. Yes, Rennes beat them, but it was also when I saw the Rennes team. I haven't known the signings that Rennes have made. So what I will do is I will move Lille down to 5th spot, and I will put Stade de Rennes in 4th spot. Keep Marseille as 2nd, keeping Monaco at 3rd. It could be a bit changed, but I don't really know. The thing with a lot of Ligue 1 clubs, they lose their players. Like Lille, they lost Diakite already. They're probably going to lose Zegrova. They lost Jonathan David. So I think Lille will drop off a bit, taking 5th spot. Stade de Rennes have made good signings. Both Monaco and Marseille have made good signings. There's still room left to improve the squad. Who will finish as top scorer? You know, Greenwood had the same amount of goals as Ousmane Dembélé last season, with Dembélé having only 1 penalty and less games played. That's why they gave it to Ousmane Dembélé. I don't see anyone else scoring more than Dembouz at Paris Saint-Germain, and I don't see anyone else in Ligue 1 scoring more. You know, Mika Berth, he was a bit special with Monaco, but I'm going to go with Ousmane Dembélé as the Ligue 1 top scorer. Hopefully he scores more goals than last season. I mean, 21, that's a very low amount of goals for a top scorer, but if he gets penalty duty, he'll score maybe 30 goals. Who will win best Ligue 1 player? It has to be Ousmane Dembélé once again. When you look at Ligue 1 best player, mostly always goes to attacker, and the team that wins the league, the team that scores, the player that scores the most goals as well in the league. And I think it will be Ousmane Dembélé who wins Ligue 1 Player of the Year. Moving on to the Premier League. Premier League. And there's one question. Who will win the Premier League? And I made this slides before the game, but I picked Liverpool as the team. I believe Liverpool will win the Premier League, and they have to. They're forced to win the Premier League. Like, when you invest so much, there's a lot of pressure on you. But that's because of the added quality you've had to your team. I could compare a bit to when we had Neymar and Mbappe at Paris Saint-Germain. If we didn't win the UCL, it was a failure. They didn't care how we failed. They didn't care about context, injuries, referee mistakes or anything. It was, if you don't win, it's a failure. And I think the same for Liverpool. If they do not win the Premier League, it is a bit of a failure. They were the strongest team last season and have had the strongest transfer window. Also kept Van Dijk and Salah despite losing Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I think Liverpool will win the league. I don't know exactly, but between the gap points and so on with other teams, but I think Liverpool will win the Premier League twice in a row. And here's my table. Liverpool first. It's Man City second. Third, Arsenal. Fourth, Chelsea. And Manchester United fifth. Obviously, people could change it around, but I think City will be back. I mean, they were only 1 point behind Arsenal last season, I think. They were the best team in 2025 in the Premier League last season, so I think City will be back where they belong. Arsenal third place, Chelsea fourth, and Manchester United in fifth. United, they have a strong squad and they don't have European football, so if they don't get a fifth spot, it would be a bit embarrassing for Manchester United. Moving on to who will finish as Premier League top scorer. I obviously picked Liverpool as the winners. I believe Alexander Isak will join Liverpool, but I believe the Premier League top scorer will be Erling Braut Haaland. Back to business. I think with the addition of Isak, Ekitike, Salah will get a little bit less goals, and Haaland had a little bit of an off year last season as well as Manchester City. So I think with City back, Haaland will be back scoring the goals. Which new signing will score the most out of Gyökeres, Isco, Joao Pedro, and Ekitike? I believe it will be Gyökeres. He's the most goal-scoring profile out of the four. I think he will also play the most games for Arsenal this season. Yeah, really simple. I think it's Gyökeres. And lastly, but not least, who will win Premier League Best Player? And I believe Liverpool will win the league. So I think the trophy will go to Mohamed Salah. Really simple. Nothing to talk too much about. I think Mohamed Salah will win it once again. And I think this would be his fourth. Really hard to debate against Mohamed Salah being one of the greatest Premier League players of all time. If he adds another Premier League title, it will only make his thing even stronger. Moving into the Bundesliga, once again, really simple. Who will win the Bundesliga? It will be Bayern München. I think with even better dominance than what they did last season. Leverkusen obviously lost Xabi Alonso, lost Frimpong, lost Wirtz. Dortmund, this is the weakest they have been in a very long time. Leipzig as well are not strong enough. Bayern will breeze through the Bundesliga, in my opinion, this season. And obviously, this is my prediction for the top five. Bayern München first, Leverkusen second. I think despite them losing people, they brought in Ten Hag, they brought in Ibrahim Mazalog, but there's some good transfers. And I think Leverkusen could potentially keep that second spot. Dortmund coming in third. We'll see how it goes to them. Frankfurt fourth. They obviously lost to Kritik, but I still think they will be in the picture. And RB Leipzig fifth. I don't know where the project of RB Leipzig is going into next season with how poor they were last season. I mean, they were one of the worst teams in the Champions League last season. I know they had a really tough route, but they were embarrassing. Who will finish as top scorer? Another easy one. It will be Harry Kane, one of the biggest stat padders in footballing history, will continue his stat padding. And who will win Bundesliga Player of the Month this season? It will be Mikel Olise. I think he deserved that last season ahead of Florian Wirtz. But because of a German bias, Florian Wirtz got it ahead of him. I think if Musiala had the season that Olise had, Musiala would win it. So it's a little bit of a PR contest. Even Thomas Müller, who was absolutely awful last season, came like fourth in the ranking, which just shows the unseriousness of this award. But it should go to Mikel Olise next season because I believe he will be even better than he was last season for Bayern München. And lastly but not least, La Liga, the Spanish first division. Who will win La Liga? Great question. Barcelona won last season. It was a three-title race, between the three teams, even though I think Barca was a level ahead of the two teams. It was just, that period between like December and January. Barca dropped a lot of points, which caused, Madrid and Atletico catch up. But Madrid have made signings. They've strengthened the squad. Atletico have spent nearly 200 million so far. Kept Alvarez, still have the main cornerstones of that team. It's tougher to answer this question than before this transfer window began, like when last season ended. But I'm once again going to go with FC Barcelona. Too strong, too good. They have lost Inigo Martinez, which could be a potential weakness in this Barca team, but they've added good depth in Ronny Bardghji, Marcus Rashford, and getting in Juan Garcia. So I think Barca will win La Liga once again. Here's my top five. Real Madrid second, Atletico third, Bilbao fourth, and Villarreal fifth. That's what I'm feeling. That's the feeling I'm going to go with. La Liga has been a bit cooked. The teams like Sevilla and other teams that used to be in those top 5, top 4 conversations are not there anymore. So I think it's really straightforward with Bilbao and Villarreal. Who will finish as top scorer? Lewandowski, I don't think he'll be as good as last season, and Mbappe still winning with a landslide despite Lewandowski being injured. I think Kylian Mbappe will once again finish as the top scorer and could potentially even score more goals than he did last season because he won't have a poor start to the season, in my opinion. And who will win best La Liga player? It was Rafinha last season, and this season I believe it will be Lamine Yamal. He will be better. He will be more consistent. That has to be the biggest thing for Lamine Yamal is the consistency. A lot of people strictly mention that he only has 9 goals. It's not just about the nine goals. It's a lot of La Liga games. Yamal is just not consistent. He's someone that loves to turn up for the big occasions, but he has to understand that consistency is key across the entire season. So he has to, raise up his level, get a GA here, get a GA there, have great performances in non-important games or less important games than he usually has. And that finishes off for me my PSGINT 2025-2026 full predictions. If you want to let me know your predictions in the comments down below, whether it's a league winner, top goal scorer, best signing, whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. I will obviously be making a prediction video for Conference, Europa League, and mostly Champions League when we get closer to it. That's been it from boy PSGINT. Hopefully guys have enjoyed this video, and as usual, allez Paris.